Hello, comrades. Commie here. Oh, I was just sitting around doing a little bit of thinking, and I've been thinking about writing and whatnot, and being a writing enthusiast, I guess you could say. I'm a person that writes often. It's what I hope to be. Hope I can use as my career at some point. I've been thinking lately about how much I should be writing. The last week or two, I haven't gotten around to doing very much at all. And I really feel kind of bad about it, but you know, there's a lot of downfalls when it comes to that kind of thing. You know, you procrastinate, you say, well, I should really do the dishes first or whatever. So, I mean, on the one hand, you put that off, but you kind of wind up doing other stuff that you might not want to do. I wound up hand washing a sweater that I'd been putting off because I wanted to put off writing. So, I mean, there's a million reasons to put it off, but I don't know, it's like once you start, then you actually do it. But yeah, the last 2 weeks or so, haven't really done much of anything, and now just today, I got some done. I was feeling really pretty good about it. I spent a couple hours just sitting down, was churning out a little bit of a story, and when I got done, I looked at the word count and it was 750, and I was like, oh man, I just spent like 2 or 3 hours working on this. Did I really only write 750 words? So at that point, I just had to leave. I had to take a bike ride and just calm down. So I came back, and I was thinking, while I was out, I was thinking, you know, maybe I shouldn't feel bad about that. How much is a person supposed to write? How much is a writer supposed to write in a given day? How much does Stephen King write in a day? How much did Hemingway write in a day? How much, you know, what's the standard, if you will? Should I try to hold up a certain page number, or page limit? Should I try to write at least 5 pages a day? Should I just try to churn out 10 pages of what I know is crap, of just random stream of consciousness stuff? Or should I be content with 1 good page that I'm happy with? Is it better to write 1 really good page or 10 pages of average stuff that you'll have to go back through and analyze and rewrite and revision and rework a million times? And that might sound like a dumb question, but on the one hand, I really enjoy going through and revising a lot of content. When I do it, I find myself in my head analogizing it to a sculptor with clay, because I've tried writing in several different ways, like tried attacking it from different angles. You know, sometimes you sit down and you try to make something beautiful and great and finished all at once, like Asimov. And I've also tried it where I just write down everything I think of and then go back and fix it. And when you do it that way, it almost like I said, it reminds me of a sculptor. It reminds me of a guy working with clay, because when you have a big wad of clay, it's nothing, and then you slowly start working it more and more, and then it begins to take roughly the shape that you want, and it gets a little bit closer and a little bit closer, and before long you have it in the right shape and the right proportions and everything, and then it comes down to making the details. You know, you make the eyes on your sculpture, you make the nose, the hair strands, the follicles, and it kind of comes that way when you write a lot all at once. When you write the crap and then go back and fix it. You know, you're going through as, oh, those 2 paragraphs are unnecessary, I was rambling there. Oh, but this is a good little passage, I should refine this. I should take this line and turn it into 3 paragraphs, and really I should try to really describe what the musty smell in the basement smells like, and I should really try to describe how this person felt when their stomach turned in knots because they were afraid, or something like that. So is it better to do that, or is it better to just sit down and try to focus and say, okay, you know what, I want to make this as good as I can, I just want to do the best I can right now. So, yeah, I went back and I was looking at, you know, I was trying to find articles saying, you know, what do the greats think? I'm sure this has come up. I'm sure this is something every writer's wondered about. How much should I be writing? And I was really kind of surprised by the answer. You know, I mentioned Stephen King. Stephen King was in a book called On Writing, or maybe he wrote that. Stephen King was in a book called On Writing, and he said he tries to write at least 10 pages a day. Bar none, always 10 pages a day, no matter what. But that is, you know, that's Stephen King. He's prolific. Stephen King, you know, bangs out a book every 6.5 weeks or whatever. But also in that article, in addition to Stephen King, they said that a lot of writers tend to think that you should have a limit. There should be you should stop yourself generally when you get going too far. You know, stop yourself at X number of words, at X number of pages, and I can kind of understand that. I mean, maybe if you're just grinding it out and you don't really want to do it, don't force yourself to go any farther. You know, don't burn yourself out on it. It's like when you're studying a textbook or something. If you read the textbook and study from the textbook for too long, eventually you're just going to find yourself reading individual words and not learning anything from it. And that's what your writing is going to turn into. And I was really kind of I had my spirits lifted quite a bit when I saw that a lot of greats, Hemingway specifically, for example, Larkin also, they both clocked in at around 500 words per day. George Bernard Shaw said it's completely reasonable for a professional writer to do 1,000 words per day. And that made me feel really kind of good, you know, because just without trying to, I got 750 words today that I'm really pretty pleased with. And, you know, I feel pretty good about that. However, you know, I did that in like a couple hours. Seems like if I was going to be pursuing this as a profession, I would want to do more. I would want to do it for 5 hours a day, not 2 hours a day. I want to do it for 5 hours. I'd want to do it for 6 hours, 10 hours, whatever. So, I don't know, my only real worry is learning this and then using it as a crutch for, oh, well, jeez, man, I already did 750 words today. What do you want from me? I already did 1,500 words. What do you want from me? You know. So, I don't know. But then come the times where you're just really inspired and just kind of flies out of you. I've had that happen. I wrote, I don't know, 10, 12 pages in a single day. How long is that? Like several thousand words? I've had that, yeah, one day I just had a 12-page story just kind of fall out. Just kind of flopped its way out of my brain and onto a computer page. You know. So there's stuff like that, and then and of course, that same article I was writing that talked about flashes of inspiration, talking about how, well, I think the Da Vinci Code was written in, like, 2 months or something ridiculous like that. And I don't know, those are things you really can't predict. They sort of just happen, you know? And I don't know, it's not, I don't want to try to strive for that, because then you start anticipating that, you start expecting it to be easy like that, and then when it doesn't, you just say, well, I'm not inspired, I can't do it, I can't write right now, I'm not inspired, and then you wind up never doing it. I wound up kind of just shelving writing entirely for, I don't know, the better part of a year, just because I was waiting for that, and it never happened. I mean, it's something that you have to do, you have to hone it, you have to practice, you have to keep it in your head at all times. And you know, maybe you get the flashes of inspiration the more you do it. Maybe to some degree it's a learned behavior. There's a school of Buddhism that says that flash of inspiration where you sit down and you make a beautiful painting, or you write a beautiful poem, or you write 50 pages in a day or whatever, they say that is a form of enlightenment. And once that happens, then you can have more of them, and you can actually train yourself to be more receptive to these. I'm not a Buddhist. I appreciate Buddhism. I do love philosophy. And, you know, without attaching any kind of, I don't want to say theistic, because a lot of Buddhists aren't theists. In fact, it's a tenet of the religion. But without attaching a Buddhist view to it, I mean, maybe that's an analogy for it, you know? Maybe through practicing you can become more receptive to these moments of inspiration. I don't know, but I do know that I'm gonna continue writing. I think I might even keep working on this thing I'm writing tonight. Oh yeah, it's night as I record this. I think I might continue working on it tonight, and who knows? Maybe I'll do a reading of it set to, I don't know, pictures or some crap like that. Maybe I'll do a reading of it for all you comrades out there. Alright, well, thank you for listening to my rambly, my words. Listen to my words, comrades. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts, if you feel like it. Otherwise, I'm Godless Commie. I'll see you guys later.